This is Keep On Cooking, a podcast for people who love cookbooks and want to know more about the authors. It's also a great place to get a weekly dose of culinary inspiration to keep things pumping in the kitchen. So grab a cookbook and keep on cooking. I'm Dustin Harder, and this is Keep On Cooking. Hello and welcome to Keep On Cooking, the only podcast dedicated to plant-based cookbooks. I'm your host, Dustin Harder, and I'm the human equivalent of a fully loaded baked potato, babes. Comforting, versatile, and always a little extra. That's right. I'm here by myself today and giving you a little solo episode, getting back into those. And as we are entering the holiday season, my loves, I thought it would be fun on these solo episodes to take a closer look at some of those holiday themed cookbooks, right? So there's several vegan holiday themed cookbooks out. And David and I, of course, do our Christmas special every year. It is something we very much look forward to because we get to just chat about being jolly and eating Christmas cookies and favorite gifts to give or get for an hour. So we really do love that episode. And we also usually recommend some holiday vegan cookbooks on the episode that you can cook from during the holidays. But this year, I thought I would start taking a closer look at some of those cookbooks that we've actually recommended to you over the next few weeks. So today we're starting with Quick and Easy Vegan Celebrations, 150 great tasting recipes plus festive menus for vegan-tastic holidays and get-togethers all through the year by Alicia C. Simpson. Now, this book came out in 2010, and some of you might remember, longtime listeners, dear longtime listeners, you remember I had Alicia on the podcast already. She's on episode 12, where we covered her book, Quick and Easy Vegan Comfort Foods. It was a special episode for me, like extra, extra special, because that book, Quick and Easy Vegan Comfort Foods, was my very first vegan cookbook. Which, I ask every author when they're on, hey, what's the first vegan cookbook that you owned? And I loved getting to have her on and chat about that book with her. And of course, her recipes are very straightforward and accessible and easy for people, which is why I gravitated towards that book when I first went vegan. Plus, it was the comfort idea of it, right? Alicia knows food, and she's moved on to such great things. So for a little free refresh on Alicia C. Simpson, Alicia is the founder of Peapod Nutrition and Lactation Support Incorporated, established in 2012, driven by her lifelong passion for nutrition, which she began during her upbringing in Fresno, California. She holds a master's degree in nutrition and a second bachelor's degree in anthropology from Georgia State University, and her thesis research focused on sociocultural barriers to breastfeeding in African American women. Alicia is an active community advocate, serving in leadership roles with La Leche League International and the United States Lactation Consultants Association, and is the author of several best-selling books, including Boost Your Breast Milk. Currently pursuing her PhD in public policy, Alicia is also a dedicated mother to her daughter, of course. And now about it. Let's get into it. So it mentioned other books, right? She's obviously has this Boost Your Breast Milk book. She's got Quick and Easy Vegan Comfort Foods. She's got Quick and Easy Vegan Low Cal Foods. And then she's got this delicious book, Quick and Easy Vegan Celebrations, 150 great tasting recipes plus festive menus for vegan-tastic holidays and get-togethers all through the year. From game day snacks to birthday sweets, the recipes are so tempting, readers might not be able to resist their allure until the prescribed holiday, meaning you're going to want to get at these recipes all year long. You're not going to be able to wait for the holiday. So, description of the book. Celebrations mean food, lots of it. But if you or your family or your friends are among the ever-growing millions of people eating vegan, you might be wondering, how can I make these classic holiday party fare without milk, cheese, eggs, or meat? This cookbook answers that question. Alicia C. Simpson, author of Quick and Easy Vegan Comfort Food, is out to prove that sharing delicious vegan eats will make you a party starter and definitely not a party pooper. From Seitan Parmesan and Sweetheart Sangria for Valentine's Day to Tourkey, Cutlets, Tourkey cutlets, and roasted garlic smashed potatoes. Oh, every time I just see garlic and potatoes in the same, I'm like, please give me all the roasted garlic smashed potatoes always. So it says roasted smashed garlic smashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. Alicia serves up all your holiday favorites with complete menus for New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Game Day, Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, plus birthday sweets. Not a gourmet chef? Not to worry. Everything from gnawfish etouffee to vanilla bean ice cream is quick and easy to prepare. Quick and easy vegan celebrations takes the guesswork out of get togethers. So all you have to do is send out those invitations and enjoy the vegan cooking, partying, and of course, the eating. So let's dig in, shall we? Now, this is 2010. So you want to think back to then, vegan books were not quite what they are these days. There's pictures in here, but just like her other one, since it was in the early aughts there, or I guess the end of the aughts, 2010. You get a section in the middle with a bunch of pictures, and it tells you what the pictures are, what page to find the recipe and everything. So you are getting some pictures in here, but the rest of the pages are jam-packed full of those recipes that are very approachable. And man, what a list of recipes in here. So let's get started. First of all, she has a section at the beginning that says party starter or party pooper, which I love because that was already in our description. And she offers tips on how to get the potty started with kitchen staples and things of that nature. And then a kitchen for all occasions is the first one. So this has a creme de la creme, say cheese, and vegan spirits. Let's see what that creme de la creme is. Is that just a cream or what? Throughout this book, I refer to a general vegan cream for recipes like pan-fried seitan, white wine, herb sauce, cream corn. There are several options out here in the world for vegan cream, and you have freedom to use whatever suits your tastes, sensitivities, and allergies. Two of my favorite types of vegan cream are soy creamer and gluten soy-free mimic cream. Huh. That's made from nuts. So she's just going over different versions of vegan creams. Essentially, she goes over xanthan gum, sriracha, tamarind paste, soba noodles. So if you've been cooking vegan for a while, you're into these. If it's new to you, I mean, listen, she's talking about lobster mushrooms though. Back in 2010, she was oyster mushrooms in here. She was on that mushroom gig, babes. Kelp granules, ground ancho chili. So she's giving you an education in here too, as well as making things accessible. She gives a detail here on vegan spirits, which I think is very nice, filling people in on the details of vegan spirits there. So let's get into the recipes, shall we? So lots of stuff to go over here. She's got a basic section that goes over flours and grains and dried beans. Another section that goes over gadgets and gizmos. So how to equip your kitchen, which, probably has progressed since this was written. Okay, so she starts us off at the beginning of the year with New Year's, my darlings. She's got samosas in here, aloo samosas with tamarind chutney, tempeh cakes with spicy remoulade, beer battered green beans, sun-dried tomato dip, coconut curry peanut noodles. Yes. Black-eyed peas, cabbage, southern sweet cornbread, gingerbread, champagne cocktail, and chocolate martini. Now, most of these are lining up for me. I am curious about the coconut curry peanut noodles. Like, how did that land? I wonder if she tells me in the header why that is landing on New Year's for her. So she says various Asian countries bring in the new year with long noodles. Oh, representing a long and prosperous life. It is very important that you not break the noodles before you eat them because it's bad luck. Throw etiquette to the wind and slurp down these noodles one at a time, making sure not to break one. Your future is depending on it. So she answered that question. Look at that. And gave us that noodle dish for that Asian tradition there of not breaking the noodle. Okay, next chapter we're getting into, because we're gonna fly through here because we got, oh my gosh, so many recipes. So the next one is game day spread. So everyone's always curious, what do I make for, oh my gosh, the Super Bowl? And I'm like, who's performing? All I want to know. I only need a snack that takes me 15 minutes to eat. That's it, because I'm not watching anything else on it. But some of you out there might be. And for those of you, I say, we got you covered here with some spicy seitan burgers, French onion burgers, sun-dried tomato pinwheels, loaded potato skins. That's it, girl. French onion dip, spinach artichoke dip, 7-layer dip, game day nachos, roasted 5-spice nuts, and brownies. Now listen, this all does it for me. The only thing I would add to here is like buffalo something, buffalo dip, buffalo cauliflower, buffalo bites, seitan. I don't want to say wings because like who wants to eat a wing? But like you know what I'm saying. Buffalo wings essentially. So like seitan, buffalo seitan, buffalo cauliflower with a little like ranch or blue cheese dip. That's the only thing I would add. Beyond that, I think this is perfect because when I think of game day food, I am thinking that I'm thinking people want to like crunch and salt and like dip and scoop and eat all the things. So she's got you here with like the 7-layer dip, the spinach artichoke dip. Nachos, I think, are a big game day thing to me. Like that would be my number one. I can eat nachos in 15 minutes during the halftime show. I can do it. Watch me. Okay, the next one is that I am curious, and maybe it's just because she's like, you gotta have a sweet. She put brownies down here. So she says these brownies are made with 100% whole grain, whole wheat pastry flour and with agave nectar instead of refined sugar. So when eating them, sit back, close your eyes, and pretend you're eating something really good for you. So I thought maybe she would fill us in on why she put brownies in game day. Now, I'm always thinking like, of all the things I said, the salty, the crunchy, the dipping, the scooping. Um, and then I have been in the situation where I'm like, compiling recipes for a game day something or other. And I'm like, well, what about a sweet? Like, don't you want a sweet? And I definitely think brownies is an excellent choice. I would say brownies or a chocolate chip cookie. But honestly, if I'm really throwing caution to the wind and like I'm cooking all this other stuff, I'm probably going to pick up like some vegan M&M type dealio where people can just pop a little candy in their mouth is what I might do. But I do like the brownies. I think that's a great choice. Like I said, I might do a chocolate chip cookie as well. Moving on to Valentine's Day. We got a seitan Parmesan, fusilli with Cabernet sauce, and portobello brisket. Girl. Pasta puttanesca, pan-fried seitan with white wine and herb sauce, spaghetti and mock meatballs, ginger almond and fried seitan salad, garlic green beans, lime sorbet with mixed berries and chambord, red velvet cupcakes, bananas foster, and sweetheart sangria. All very interesting choices, all fun dishes to sort of make for your lover, if you have a lover, or your best friend, or for yourself. I say Valentine's Day is all about yourself. I can be a selfish character though. So that checks that I would say that. But if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Let me look into. I'm curious about. I want to see how she's making these red velvet cupcakes, babe. So she says about these, somehow I made it through almost 20 years of life without trying my first red velvet cake. Within 1 week of moving to the South, I had my first slice, and I've never looked back. These cupcakes are perfect for all Valentine's Day celebrations. When your child's teacher requests that you provide the treats for the class Valentine's Day party, this is an ideal go-to recipe. It is also the perfect end to a Valentine's Day dinner with your lady or beau or non-binary partner. So it looks like a traditional. Oh, for the red food coloring, she's doing red food coloring or 2 teaspoons beet juice. I might challenge that only because I've worked with beet juice a lot. You might know a little more than that, sis. But maybe those beets were really big. I guess maybe if you're using straight up, I think that's gonna be more of a light pink than the red velvet you're going for. There is a couple brands with vegan food colorings out there that I love. I think Watkins is one of them. And then it's not Supernatural does the sprinkles. Oh, it's called Tree something. It's in my brain. Some of you out there probably know it. Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out. If you're listening to this episode, go to my Instagram and comment under this episode what the red food coloring is. Go to the Keep On Cooking Instagram, that is. All right, next holiday she has in here is Mardi Gras, the party holiday, y'all. Andouille sausage, jambalaya, gumbo, gnawfish etouffee, lobster and cheese grits. Oh my god, this sounds so good. Fried oysters with Cajun spice horseradish, oyster po' boys, bourbon street tofu, dirty rice, beignets, baked beignets with chocolate almond sauce, king cake, and hurricane. What is hurricane? Is that a beverage? Is that the beverage she's talking about? Let's check this out. Hurricane. Yeah, it sure is. Take a walk down Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and within 5 minutes, you will be offered a hurricane at least 5 times. Hurricanes are the unofficial drink of New Orleans, and no trip to that magical city or true New Orleans style Mardi Gras celebration would be complete without a hurricane or two. So yeah, it was the drink. And then she's got a recipe for a king cake in here, which I think is really rad. There's a couple great places. There's Breads on Oak, I know, and they do king cakes every year in New Orleans, and I've had that and tasted that. Yum yum. And then there was another place David and I went to a couple of years ago. I cannot recall the name of it. But it was a third party who brought in the king cake. So I'm sure it's a king cake you can get, vegan king cake you can get at other locations as well. That's Mardi Gras. We're moving on to St. Patty's Day. This is what I find so fascinating about these books, which is why I wanted to do these episodes like this, because we talk about them every year in that Christmas special where we're kind of like, oh, and this one has a Christmas section, but like, there's this one I'm going to go over Isa Chandra Moskowitz's Fun Times, Super Fun Times cookbook that's got all the holidays. And I'm going to go over Gaz Oakley's like Christmas book, like Nava Atlas has a holiday book. Like, we're just going to take a closer look. So maybe you can see which holiday book really suits your fancy this season that you want to buy. Because even when these books, I think maybe this is out of print, I could be wrong, but they're all still available. You can find all this stuff, and they're very, they're books that you can come to again and again, really. It's not just for the holidays, but really can hold like some can be a champion in your kitchen, essentially. So St. Patrick's Day, she got us with the Irish soda bread, red potato cakes with tomato and wilted spinach, shepherd's pie, gotta have it, fish and chips, tempeh Reuben sandwiches, red cabbage slaw, stout beer cupcakes with whiskey cream cheese frosting. Nice. Green velvet cupcakes. We're getting a little crafty there. I love that. Irish cream liqueur, Irish cream latte, and St. Patty's shake. Funny story. When we were in Ireland with Vegan Travel Club, we took a group there a couple of years ago. My sister got an Irish coffee, and she literally was like, "Oh my God, this is the best Irish coffee I've ever had." And I was just kind of like, well, gal, you're in Ireland. I mean, that kind of checks out, right? So I'm glad that it was the best, because I would have been disappointed for her had it not been. You know what I mean? All right, I'm looking up the green velvet cupcakes. I want to see what she has to say about these. Stout beer cupcakes with whiskey cream cheese frosting, from page 108, might not exactly be kid friendly. So while the adults are enjoying their liquor laced cupcakes, try these fun green cupcakes for the kids. That's cute. I love that. Okay, so Easter is next. We got a broccoli frittata, rosemary and chive biscuits. I've been seeing a lot of like flavored biscuits lately, and I think it's time that I create some of my own to share with the world, because I'm into it. Rosemary and chive biscuits, yes, please. Hidden treasure muffins. I'm going to turn to that page and find out what the hidden treasure is. Crispy baked tofu, creamy broccoli and cauliflower soup, Parmesan roasted asparagus, au gratin potatoes, cream corn, hummingbird cupcakes. Now, I can't quite recall, like, for me, Easter is not like, to me, it's not like a food holiday, but my mom would always have like an Easter brunch. So I guess I'm curious, and she would always have ham. That is the one thing I remember, and mashed potatoes. Beyond that, I kind of feel like it's whatever you want it to be, right? So I'm curious, if you're out there listening and you want to tell me, is there an Easter staple you had or have? My mom was always big on the ham, which is maybe why she's got that crispy baked tofu in here. So let's see what's in the hidden treasure muffins. Take us to page 119. Here we go. Okay. Hidden inside these sweet, fluffy treats are all of the fruits, vegetables, and whole grains you can pack into one little muffin. So we got wheat pastry flour, all-purpose flour, quick cooking oats, baking powder, baking soda, nutmeg, cinnamon, applesauce, rice milk, sweet potato puree, light brown sugar. Y'all, I'm confused. Margarine and apple cider vinegar. I'm not seeing any. All the fruits, vegetables. I mean, I guess applesauce. Oh, I get it, because it's hidden. I was thinking we would have like chunks of fruit and vegetable in it, is what I was thinking. That's my bad completely. So it's actually hidden with the sweet potato and the applesauce and all that good stuff. Okay, all right. She's hiding them treasures, babe. Cinco de Mayo. Here we go. We got huevos rancheros, papa chorizo frittata, flauta sin pollo, taco soup, tempeh soft tacos with lime crema, quinoa stuffed poblanos with black beans and mango peach salsa. Yum, Chipotle black bean burgers, chorizo empanadas, Mexican chocolate mousse, and then she's given us a classic margarita, a frozen mango margarita, and a pineapple margarita. Now, this next one's very interesting to me. Well, let's see what she's using for the chicken in flauta sin pollo. So that is 134. Now let's see what we're doing in here. Page 134. Flauta means flute in Spanish, and although these resemble tasty little instruments, I don't recommend you try to play them. Haha, she got jokes. Thanks, Alicia. But I do highly recommend eating them. My favorite part of these flautas is the marinated seitan. The first time I made these, I ate half the seitan right out of the oven before I remembered that I had to use it for the recipe. I've been there, Alicia. I feel you. Luckily, 1 or 2 strips of seitan are usually left over when making these, so feel free to snack away if the mood hits. So we're using seitan for the chicken, which I'm always a big fan of. Okay. Next one is Independence Day. So again, okay. We're getting into barbecue land here, essentially. So we've got barbecue tempeh hoagies with chipotle mayo, barbecue baked beans. Oh, yes, girl. Ooh, I love that. Barbecue baked beans. You know, I have just forgotten about baked beans in my life. There was someone who was doing someone who needed a recipe for it recently, and I could not help them out. And I was like, I did in my last book, The Power Foods Diet with Dr. Barnard, I did make a British baked beans and greens on toast. And I styled those after baked beans. So I guess I've done that a little bit, but I should make a straight up baked beans recipe. Now, this is barbecue baked beans. To me, that is elevating it. That is elevation, and I'm here for it, Alicia. And then she has a grilled corn with herbed butter. Oh, that is a David Rossetti recipe through and through. She's got straight up classics in here that you need, right? Coleslaw, potato salad, broccoli salad, patriotic parfait. I'm going to guess that's berries and stuff like that, making the red, white, and blue. Pride Punch, fresh squeezed lemonade. So she really gave you good stuff here. Now let's see what is in Pride Punch. Maybe I need to incorporate this into some Pride recipes for Pride, the month of June. Push this out there, let the world know about Pride Punch. So it's got pineapple juice, rum, amaretto, and mint. I mean, I don't drink, but that sounds yummy. 10 cane rum is made from pure sugar cane and has a sweeter, smoother flavor than traditional rum. Mixed with a little pineapple juice, amaretto, and the light taste of mint, it takes a superb cocktail that adds a bit of coolness to a hot summer day. I just love pineapple and mint. Oh, so good. I'm here for it. Okay. Now, oh, that patriotic parfait was right next to that. Let's see. So she's using silken tofu to make, silken tofu to give you the white part and make like a, so let's say she says presentation is everything when it comes to parfaits. The natural colors of the fruits and whipped cream are what make this healthy dessert so beautiful. So accentuate these colors with the perfect serving cups. Vintage milkshake glasses are a favorite to layer the parfaits in, or try using wine glasses for a more sophisticated feel. So this is making like the white whipped cream with a silken tofu and a little bit of soy milk and maple syrup. David's stepdad says maple syrup. For your it says put the tofu, maple syrup, milk, vanilla beans, bean seeds, and oil if using into a food processor and blend until smooth. Refrigerate for at least 30 minutes. It's preferable to refrigerate the whipped cream overnight. So you're making whipped cream with the silken tofu, and then you're layering it with strawberries and blueberries to make that parfait, y'all. Now, what started me on this path to do these holiday books for y'all this season is that we have the blog out, the Keep On Cooking blog, right? And I was potentially playing with putting together like my favorite recipes, my favorite like Halloween recipes, because I see cute ones all the time on Instagram that like I don't have time to tackle, but I'm like, ooh, I love that. And then I look at the recipe and I'm like, oh gosh, that's actually kind of easy too. So I think what I'm going to do is give you all an episode where I do pick my top 10, because to put it in a blog, I'd have to reach out to the bloggers and everything because you're using the photos and everything. But I figure I can talk to you about them all here and give those bloggers some credit. So that'll be coming to you soon. But then it got me thinking about these books and how some of them might have maybe a Halloween chapter. And this book does have a Halloween chapter. So for Halloween, since this is coming out before Halloween, listen up. We've got a pumpkin casserole, severed fingers, ghost sandwiches, mummy mini pizzas, orange o lanterns, eyeball cake pops, dirt and worm cupcakes, candy corn on a stick, marzipan candy corn, and marzipan pumpkins. Oh my goodness. So is she making, and I know this is going to be polarizing, you all know that candy, the candy corns, and then the pumpkins that are made out of the candy corns. Is she making those from scratch? We're going to find that out right now. If so, this is ambitious and awesome for 2010, girl. You better work. Okay. She says, sadly, traditional candy corn is not vegan, but making your own vegan version at home using marzipan is ridiculously easy. Marzipan is a sweet almond confection that seems ultra fancy and hard to use or work with. In reality, it is one of the simplest forms of candy making you'll ever do, mostly because 90% of the work is done for you. You can buy a 7-ounce roll of marzipan at just about any grocery store for a great price. So she uses red and yellow food coloring and marzipan to make them, and she's doing the same for the pumpkins. Okay. I thought that was going to be like a more involved, wild, chaotic sort of situation with lots of different things involved. But she's cutting right to it with that marzipan. Now she's got eyeball cake pops in here. Those do look a little involved, but doable. I've done cake pops a gazillion times. I do love to make them. And let me tell you, you take a cake pop to a party, it's all anyone's going to talk about. Guarantee it, because they're going to be so impressed that you made cake pops from scratch. So lots of fun stuff in here. I did want to see what the severed fingers were. She's got a recipe that just says severed fingers. So enlighten us. Severed fingers is presentation is everything when it comes to making your holiday dishes ghoulish and frightening. This recipe is so quick and easy, it's insane. Quick recipes like this give you plenty of time to decorate your house and get ready for the holiday party that your neighbors will envy. 8 vegan hot dogs, 8 slivered almonds or green pumpkin seeds in ketchup. Cook the hot dogs according to the package directions and allow them to cool to handle. Stick an almond slice or pumpkin seed into one end of each hot dog, creating a fingernail. I see. Arrange the fingernails on a serving plate and cover the ends with fingernails with ketchup. Okay. All right. I see. I see what you did there. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. Okay. Moving on to Thanksgiving. Okay. So also Thanksgiving is a polarizing holiday because, oh man, the history there, right? So I like to look at Thanksgiving as an opportunity not to give thanks for the things that school taught us when we were younger, but just as an opportunity to eat. I mean, that is what I've deduced it to, because celebrating, it's a bunch of lies. And if I do happen to be with like my whole family, then I'm obviously like celebrating the opportunity to spend time with loved ones. So we will give you these Thanksgiving recipes for you to use for whatever version you're celebrating. We've got the Tourkey cutlets, classic macaroni and cheese, cornbread stuffing, southern style greens, roasted root and gourd soup, roasted garlic smashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, pumpkin gingerbread with pumpkin butter, raw sweet potato pie, and pumpkin pie ice cream. Girl, you better get it. Now I'm very curious why we're spelling it. Turkey is Tourkey. Tourkey. You better torque. I'm a little curious about that. Like, what are we using? And maybe you're out there shouting it at me like what that would be right now, but I'm not putting it together. I've been meat-free for over 8 Thanksgivings and have managed to make it through all of them without ever once eating tofurkey. But listen, here's the thing, everyone listening. I love tofurkey. So does David. We wait the whole year to have that delicious thing. We love it. But she says, when it comes to a big holiday meal, I like to make the traditional side dishes my main attractions and pile them high on a plate with a turkey cutlet and sage gravy as my side. Most importantly, I like my Thanksgiving dinner to be 100% homemade from top to bottom, and these cutlets are a simple way to make that possible. Turkey cutlets can be made up of 3 days before the holidays and pan fried the day of. So, I mean, it's to me, I think it's just a spelling of it because she's making a seitan from scratch here and making cutlets out of it, which has got to be delicious. I could be into that, but David and I really do love the Tofurkey. Actually, there's not many roasts that David and I have been upset about. Like, we're here for them. We love them. And it allows us to focus on other things like the side dishes galore, right? And making some bread from scratch. We'd almost prefer to make our dinner rolls from scratch, which, if you've been listening to this, you know that David and I love the rosemary and smoked chili rolls from Gaz Oakley's Christmas book. We make them every year. But I can understand the value of making your seitan from scratch for this. I actually, this was an attempt, a failed attempt. From Miyoko Shinner's meat cookbook. Actually, it is in the meat cookbook. Was that the vegan meat cookbook? I just had to look up at it on the shelf back there. The vegan meat cookbook. I tried to make this. I think it's called the Unturkey. Man, did I fail. It didn't taste good. It didn't look good. It's not Miyoko's fault. It's a very involved, intense recipe, and I can go pretty far when it comes to a recipe. I can like get on board, I can put in several days of work into one if I need to. And this just fell short for me. I thought at least the flavor would be there because like it cooked correctly, but I just didn't shape it well. I didn't cover the outside well. It just was a disaster for me. So, and I know people have made that on turkey and love it, but I just found myself being like, I was fine with the tofurkey. And David and I both were kind of like, this didn't really work out. Anyway, okay, now we're looking at Hanukkah. We've got portobello brisket, roasted vegetables, potato latkes, sweet potato and parsnip latkes, cauliflower latkes, challah, and then we've got applesauce donut holes. I'm here for all of that. We're moving into drum roll. Oh, I want to talk about latkes for a minute. My friend Joanna Russell, adore her. Back in my 20s, back in the day when we were just little babies in New York City, she had a latke party one year and we all just made delicious latkes and drank martinis all night. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved it very much. Oh, Joe, I love you, Joe. Okay, now we're looking at Christmas. So, Christmas. That is the season of seasons where people are just like, food, give me. So she's got us covered in here with a variety. Here we got Christmas tamales, hazelnut crusted seitan, agave glazed acorn squash, Jamaican curried pumpkin soup, green bean casserole, dill new potatoes, twice baked sweet potatoes, mulled pomegranate cider, and then she's got a little subsection that says sweets for Santa, pecan fudge. Got to tell y'all, my Aunt Shar had fudge for Christmas every year. She might still. And then gingerbread cookies, chocolate macadamia nut cookies, double chocolate chip cookies, and crunchy cornflake cookies. What is a crunchy cornflake cookie? And is it something I need in my life? Because I love me some corn. I really do like some cornflakes. I don't know how y'all feeling about cornflakes out there. I love them. I love them. I love them. She says, not every treat has to be a well thought out, decadent dessert. I literally first made these cornflake cookies from a hodgepodge of leftover pantry items that ended up becoming these wonderfully crunchy, buttery treats. Love that. All right. Moving on to Kwanzaa next, we've got spicy jerk seitan, North African meatballs, red lentil stew, tempeh yassa, tempeh kuku paka, pan-fried plantains, sautéed collard greens, African peanut soup, and roasted red pepper cornbread. Roasted red pepper cornbread. That sounds so good. I'm curious about this North African meatballs. What is in North African meatballs? So we've got, she says, if you're looking for an introduction to North African cooking, and I was, thank you, this is a great place to start. The ingredients are familiar and easy to find, and they yield a sweet yet savory meatball that goes perfectly over quinoa, couscous, or brown rice. So we've got your typical spices in here, plus some liquid smoke and Worcestershire. But then we're looking at, these are made from TVP, breadcrumbs, Vita wheat gluten. We've got some cilantro, ginger, cumin, garlic, ketchup, salt, pepper. And then for the sauce, we got canola oil, onion, garlic, lemon juice, crushed tomatoes, agave, red pepper flakes, ground cinnamon, fine sea salt, and pepper to taste. Delicious. That sounds delicious and really easy to make. I love meatballs. I love making meatballs. I love different kinds of meatballs. In the Minimalist Baker's Cookbook, which is another one I'm going to cover on a solo episode, and I'm trying to get her on here. That is problematic. Gal started eating chicken and stuff, which I'm not going to get all into that with her, but I'm just like, I don't think I need to have her on and like, talking about why she's not vegan now. I'm just going to focus on the vegan recipes I like. And also her one cookbook she released that I really like. And I used to cook from a lot. There's these meatballs in here in that. I think it's that book. It might actually be. Actually, I take this back. I think these meatballs I'm thinking of are from Christy Turner's book, but I could never go vegan. And they're cheese stuffed meatballs. Christy Turner's been on the podcast. She's a now defunct blogger from the blog, but I could never go vegan. She had 2 cookbooks, but I could never go vegan, and but I could never go vegan family. Fabulous cookbooks. But there's these stuffed meatballs in there that are stuffed with cheese. Love them. Used to make them for clients all the time. They love them. Good stuff. Next, we're moving on to not just a holiday, but a special day. So birthday sweets. So sweets we can make for people on their birthdays. French toast with maple ice cream, carrot cake. That's a fun one. Make a little breakfast for your wifey or your huzzy or your kids or something. Or kids, you making a breakfast for your mom, your vegan mom. Maybe you're gonna make us some French toast with maple ice cream. What do you say? Then we got a carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. Classic white cake with buttercream. When you say buttercream, you have to say buttercream. If you watch Great British Bake Off, you know that. Key lime cupcakes, golden cupcakes with chocolate cream cheese frosting, cheesecake, vanilla bean ice cream, and sweet agave frozen yogurt. Ooh, sweet agave frozen yogurt. What's your base in that, Alicia? Please tell us what is the base of the sweet agave frozen yogurt. So in that we're using, she's using yogurt, actual yogurt, and then freezing it. I don't know why I expected otherwise. I thought it would be like a, I don't know, like a homemade variation or something. But that's yummy. That's going to be extra sweet with that agave too. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Now she wraps things up in this book. So those are all the holidays. We're ending with birthdays for holidays. And she wraps things up in here with a chapter called The Basics. So she's keeping you covered. She's got cream cheese frosting, cheese sauce, sage gravy, dill dip, Thousand Island dressing, ranch dip, teriyaki dip, taco seasoning, jerk seasoning, Cajun spice blend, smoky maple barbecue sauce, pizza sauce, and then, of course, that delicious chicken seitan that we were talking about earlier. And that is quick and easy vegan celebrations, my friends. 150 great tasting recipes plus festive menus for vegantastic holidays and get-togethers all through the year. I'm Dustin Harder. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Keep On Cooking, and you'll come on back next week. And please remember, you can now get lots of free recipes at the Keep On Cooking blog. So go check it out, keeponcooking.com. We're putting authors' recipes up there to help promote the books and share a little bit of the book with you. And of course, you can find the episodes there and all sorts of stuff like that. Kitchen equipment I love and good things like that. So keeponcooking.com. Go check it out. And of course, please follow us on Keep On Cooking Pod on Instagram. Okay. All right. Hugs and kisses. See you later.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd be so grateful if you would rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to check out keeponcooking.com for all of the latest in recipes and Keep On Cooking updates. This has been a Muzzy Cat production.